roll at night, where we talk about Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
Mostly stuff.
I love stuff.
We haven't talked about birds not being real for a while.
It's because they're not.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about it.
Why
We
would
just did.
It's like Schrodinger's drone birds.
why
Like, if you don't talk about them, they don't exist.
would we talk about something that doesn't exist?
I don't know. Flat Earth, global warming.
Penguins live in the South Pole and the North Pole.
Do they live in the North Pole?
They
No,
don't.
they don't. But I also found out that apparently the North Pole is just like a big sheet of ice. Like there's no actual land. I had no idea about this. I watched a like documentary on the Nautilus.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know anything about this? But basically, it's like an old World War I sub that they retrofitted with all these weird things, like an arm that like slaps the ice and like all sorts of crazy things, like and then like rollers on the top so it can like basically like ride the ice.
It's
Wild
interesting.
stuff, yeah. So it wasn't a success. They almost all died.
But they didn't,
But
so
they
that's the
didn't.
upside.
But yeah, I mean, basically they like fitted this sub that was not prepared, and like they only they didn't have a bed for every single person, and so like everyone was in shifts the entire time, and like I could not imagine that. That would be insane. And the toilet, there was only one toilet for like 28 people, which I'm like, oh, that's rough. Couldn't even think about that with like 4 people. Was in between both the motors, so it was like open, like toilet between 2 engines. So it was
Sweet.
like super loud. Like actually, I guess that's probably the only privacy you got, unless the engineers were there. Like, what you doing?
Pooping.
Yeah. So good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times in the North Pole. Isn't
Welcome to our fan cast where we talk about failed nautical adventures.
isn't that where they found Megatron?
Yes.
Yes?
In that first Transformers movie?
Was it the North Pole?
I think it was the North Pole.
Yeah.
Because the Witwicky ancient
Yeah.
whatever person,
Sam Witwicky.
his great-great-grandfather had an expedition,
What was it?
and they had the glasses.
Yeah.
Welcome.
But it was...
To our Transformers fan cast.
What was his name?
I know it was Sam Witwicky.
That was the great-great-grandson.
Yeah. What Sheila LaBeouf?
Did you say Sheila?
Uh-huh.
Shia?
Sheila
Sheila.
LaBeouf?
Yeah,
Which-
he said the whole name wrong. That's
Which
why it's-
translates to the beef.
The beef? Really?
Yeah. Well, le boeuf is the beef.
Okay.
lay beef.
The beef.
I wonder what he's doing.
I think like had a mental breakdown.
That's
but
100% true for a while. I think he's been okay, but I don't think he's been anything.
But now we've got that whole like documentary or docuseries, Quiet on Set, which chronicled all the bad stuff that happened on Nickelodeon. And
Oh, dear.
so now they're like, I think they're going to try to do Disney, which is probably way worse than the bad stuff. But I don't know. Have you guys watched the Quiet on Set Nickelodeon thing?
No, I haven't. I've heard rumors about like the Disney stuff where everyone was boning each other.
Well, I mean, I don't doubt that whatsoever. But essentially, like the main guy at Nickelodeon, like apparently had like a foot fetish, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't understand. I don't know why." And then you look back at all like the Nickelodeon logos; they're all like orange feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so like it was right there. He was like, "What's make them feet? Why?" Because the dude had a foot fetish.
Makes sense.
And then one of the guys who got caught for, I don't know if I want to spoilers. It's relatively new, but basically one of the guys that got caught for messing with one of the kids got fired. He served 18 months in jail and then got work at Disney.
Good.
But
Good.
apparently Disney says that he was away. He was doing voiceover work, so he was away from kids and all that stuff. I'm just like, how does that happen?
Different time. 80s and 90s, like.
Yeah, I know. It's just so weird and so dark, and it's like, oh man, my childhood. And you look back at everyone getting slimed, and you're like, that's semen. That's a cum shot. Welcome to our cum shot fan cast.
Well, The chum bucket sounds a lot like cum bucket.
Yeah, the BS roll, the blasting semen roll.
Oh my god.
Like a sushi roll, but with...
Semen.
Yeah. Yep, you got it.
I knew it.
It's like spicy tuna and semen.
Speaking of semen,
Huh.
I've been watching a lot of cold case files, and you'd be surprised
Dun, dun.
how many people get caught because they have semen somewhere. Usually because of rape, but
This is the second week that we've talked about this. So what?
I mentioned cold case files last week.
No, we talked about rape last
Oh
week.
yeah, the house and
The house and the rape.
the house. And the rape. Why is that funny?
I don't know. I'm not laughing. All right. So what are?
Sounds like a dark cartoon. The house and the rape.
Not a cartoon that I'm gonna watch. So
I watch it.
Well, Nick would watch it. So speaking of watching it, let's talk about the thing we listened to.
Charmed?
Yes. Which is episode 4, session 3. Still the dumbest convention ever. I hate it.
I love it.
Just skip an episode.
Nope,
Do it.
I refuse to.
So stuff happened.
Stuff happened. Indeed, stuff happened.
Did you actually listen to it, Tim, or did you not listen to it?
I listened to half of it, and then I kind of scrubbed through, and then I realized oh, we didn't do anything on this episode.
No, we
mean,
really
the
didn't.
start of it, you had some important lore dumps and
Yep.
some character growth for Babylon and M. Scott, air quotes, and then Snee learned some new stuff. So
Mhm.
Oh.
I think
Always.
the episodes basically starts. Well, first you guys talk about wild, crazy, super off topic things like pizza and what did I message you? It was pizza and fantasy something else. It's gonna drive me crazy.
Oh,
I could just look at the messages. That would be weird.
yeah, in our Discord chat. Yeah, I just remember this episode being chaotic. I don't have notes for this episode at all.
It was one of our bullshit ones in between some stuff.
Well, you just had gotten off of the house and murdering everyone in the house.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was you guys started the top saying that you guys were gonna basically just start a fantasy podcast within the podcast, and so then you guys were gonna basically RP role playing Dungeons and Dragons.
RP,
how-
some RP.
Yeah, see how deep you guys could go in that, and then talk about pizza, and then obviously drugs.
Though,
Well, we did find drugs.
yeah, I do believe this episode revolved around putting a dick on a duck and drugs.
Yep.
All right, and that's the podcast for you this week. So the episode starts with Babylon sparring all night. With Cirx with an S, not an X
Or Z.
or a Z.
Cirx.
Cirx. No, the S at the top.
And so
front.
Cirx.
You got it, nailed it.
what I tried to do with each and every character is give them a reason why they're leveling up.
Yeah.
And I do that with Nick and his backstory of Snee, and that's why he's growing more powerful, is remembering stuff. Well, then obviously Babylon has to train. And this is where you guys turn to level 3, so he gets his subclass, which is the astral.
They.
They.
All right, 3s. You got this.
It's been a long time since I've thought about Babylon.
Bro,
It's been a while. Since they got their subclass of the astral self.
Astral arms, right? Or is it?
I think it's just the astral self.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Which for Ryan is arms of the asshole self.
So giving them each and every reason, and I don't remember what I said for the Baron.
Oh, what the Baron did?
Yeah.
There wasn't an actual thing in regards to what the Baron did, but you do recount the day that he was gone, which was kind of funny, and I do have some questions on that. But astral self or asshole self,
Asshole self.
was that Ryan's decision, or did you kind of guide that and be like, hey, this would be really cool? I mean, I know you want them to pick it, but I wasn't sure if there was any conversation that went into it, or you just showed up and Ryan's like, this is what I want to do.
We talked about it, and I always ask them what their subclass are going to be, and if they're going to multi-class and whatnot, so I can develop that backstory. And he was going through, this is Ryan. Ryan was going into either the Drunken Master or Astral Self. And I think maybe it was that day that he chose one or the other. I don't remember.
I feel like it was every time we talked
I
and
think it
saw
was
each
the
other, it
episode
was
before.
back and forth about which one Ryan was going to pick for.
I think in like the beginning of the episode before, you guys were talking about it a little bit, or maybe it was in the break, or it was at the end of the episode. You guys talked about it for a minute, and he was trying to decide which route he wanted to go.
So it's probably just that whole week of back and forth, back and forth.
Fair enough.
And I obviously let Ryan pick either one, so I could develop Cirx. Either Cirx was going to be a drunk,
Yeah.
or the Astral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, drunk. Yeah. Well, I thought wasn't that? I think Drunken Master was what Ryan was considering.
Mm-hmm.
That was the other option
Yeah.
he weighed through.
Yeah.
So Cirx was either going to be a massive drunk, and this is how you get your key and
Which
all that jazz.
isn't really fair because I still think that Ryan plays Babylon as a massive drunk.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of not fair. Like that's multi subclassing the same. I'm a double monk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you... It would be interesting to multi-class into
Another monk.
another monk and have another subclass.
I mean, it could be cool though. It'd be probably super OP. Like, I don't know how that would work with like
You'd have
your
to do
key
that
points and
off
stuff
of-
like that.
It would have to be a homebrew thing.
Yeah.
I've got double key points, baby.
Well, if you get double the ability, well, that's the other problem. If you get double the abilities, which means you would have to double key points,
That's
but
what
then
I'm
it also
saying,
makes
yeah.
it way OP.
That's what I'm saying. I'm doing that. I just got to find a game to play. That's my only problem right now.
Womp womp.
Yeah. And then so M. Scott had another dream
Another dream, yep.
of the lame man who's like up, walking around, healthy. And then back to that dang old, and the lame man gives credit to Shuto or
Shoto.
Shoto or Shoto if you're from Missouri.
Which I think we pronounce differently each and every time.
That's the plan.
Yep.
I think the one we
Basically
picked up most was Chateau.
Chateau?
Chateau?
Chateau, got it.
Chateau.
Also, if you're from St. Louis, Chateau also makes sense. Basically saying that they gave credit to the god and then more visions of a dick on a duck.
Mm-hmm.
And then Snee has another vision that they're basically like on like a workbench.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned that they're a prototype. And that they're working with the royalty. Snee's supposed to be a protector. The name Orion appears. The name, which I wrote later in my notes, Raldo, is also mentioned. There's a pregnant lady and some kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then so from that, they're like, hey, Snee, you can do sneaky stuff. And then that's like your level 3 transformation where you like go dark mode.
Yeah.
So
Of course I go dark mode.
Stealth mode.
stealth mode, which is that.
Homebrewed.
So it's homebrewed. Okay, that's why I wasn't sure if it was something from, like a rogue subclass or anything like that.
No, this is an interesting idea that I had, so you wouldn't have that annoying thing of he has a gym that is a light, so like he can never sneak because he has a gym. And
I am Iron Man.
yeah, pretty much. So giving him tools to use, and he can only use I think once per long rest, so it's not super OP.
Though I do feel like he used it twice in the episode.
Nope, never.
I think it happened. I think it happened early on and then later on. It was like early on when you got like someone was walking up on you guys and you're like very sneaky, and then later on with the dick duck scene.
Maybe.
No, it didn't happen.
All right, well we're gonna pause the podcast and go back and listen to
and
it.
then listen to the whole thing
Yeah,
over
like
again.
we do. That's my new thing. My new thing I've been doing for the last 3 weeks, I think now. But we learned that Orion.
Doesn't have a belt.
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, I know.
Does Orion have a belt?
I don't remember this conversation.
It's because we didn't have that conversation. I'm having it now.
Yeah, this is once again where
I'm pretty
just
sure at one point in time I said
throwing it
the
at you.
galaxy is on Orion's belt.
Yeah, classic MIB. I got that reference. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I love me some Men in Black. Haven't watched the newest one with one of the Hemsworth brothers and
I haven't either.
some other person, but like it's kind of
It's
hard.
because
to
it's
watch.
not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
They made a fourth one?
Yeah,
Men in Black International.
something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna go home and watch it. We'll see.
No.
Well,
I
why don't we
I-
watch it real quick?
Yeah,
and we'll
we're
continue
gonna
recording.
pause. We'll be right back.
We've only done one movie review on here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, D&D,
Yep.
which makes sense. But
We can do the other D&D movies.
Oh yeah, we should.
There's
There's more than.
there's 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
And
knew
then
of the
new
2000 one.
yeah. There's a 2000 one, and then there's like one from the 80s.
Oh no.
Good.
So there was Dungeons and Dragons. What was the full title? Dungeons and
I
Dragons.
feel like there was a Wayne's Brothers like involvement one. Could be making that up, but it sounds fun.
I gotta look that up.
I know
Fill the
the,
void.
Oh, I'm filling a void right now. So talking about Snee and all that lore dump, and you're looking at those two, Tim. Stop it.
I'm trying to find the notes for this session.
Oh, well, you said you threw them out because you had to improv, so it's probably the notes for the next session.
Yes, I did say that, but with like
oh, so now you're a fucking liar.
Yep. No, those backstories I would have written out as everything else that I had planned.
Per planned.
God, I used to speak for a living and now I don't.
It's fine.
Wait, we're not getting paid?
In my previous life, I used to be a public speaker, and now I can't talk at all. I couldn't talk good then either. Nick knows.
It's true.
Yeah, I said,
What about Nick's nose?
It's right here.
Got your nose.
okay.
So there was the original Dungeons and Dragons movie, which was in 2000. Then there was Dungeons and Dragons: Wrath of the Dragon God, that was in 2005, and then they came out with a third one, Dungeons and Dragons 3: Book of the Veiled Darkness, in 2012, which I didn't even know that existed. I own the first 2.
We're going to watch that third one right now.
I
Pause it.
want to. I found it on like Amazon for like $6.
Worth it. But isn't there one from like the 80s or 90s, I thought?
I think there is something from way back, but it's not necessarily related to these.
Well,
And technically, Honor Amongst Thieves is a reboot.
Fair
Because
enough.
theoretically, those first 3 are actually a trilogy, but not a very good one.
Yeah.
Who's the famous actor that's in that?
The person that gets paid to act.
No,
Oh, the person that doesn't get paid to act. You're
Jeremy
right.
Irons,
Maybe.
right?
That works.
The
for
bad
him.
guy?
Scar,
Oh.
Simon from.
Yes, yeah. So he's in the first one,
Okay.
but just the first. But he gets eaten by a dragon.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Then his minion,
For like a 40-year-old movie,
The 2000s were not 40 years old.
it feels like it.
24 years old.
I know. No,
It's
no,
legal. It's well over the legal drinking age.
No, 24 years ago was 1980s. Get it right. Because it's the year 2000.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then his protege, what was his name? Damodon or something stupid like that, is in the second one as the big bad evil guy.
Hey, I found my notes.
You don't have
Oh,
notes.
well, we're going to move on now.
Oh man, this is all of Sneeve's backstory stuff.
Well, I know you can't really go in super in depth to it, so I mean, I don't even know why you looked him up because it's still part of the story and we're still figuring it out. So
Mm-hmm.
you're just looking at it and going, interesting.
And well, needed to remember what I actually said here.
I told you word for word.
No, you didn't.
It's true.
Wait, which is true? Which one of us
Yes.
tells the truth? Which one of us
Yes.
lies?
Yeah, he's a prototype. He gets stealth mode, protector. There's a woman that's pregnant.
So there's a woman that's pregnant, and then there's also another child.
No, it's the same job.
Okay.
Yep. Because he's having weird memories of like going forward or backwards in time, and then like a little forwards but still backwards in time, and then I'm playing with time a lot there, so he's getting all sorts of
Fair
discombobulated
enough. Okay.
memories.
So
It's
the,
like
the flashbacks are non-linear. I get it.
Yes.
And so then there's lots of talks about coming together, and I am shocked that Ryan did not lose it or anyone else. He's like, and then you all come together, and then it's like there's like a good like 3 or 4 second pause, and I'm just like, who's gonna break? Who's gonna break? And my note is, how did Ryan not break?
Mm-hmm.
So then,
But you didn't say who broke.
no one did.
Exactly.
So I did say that. 'Cause I
You
literally
can't
said
break
no one-
our coming together.
Okay. Welcome to our Seaman fan cast, where we talk about Seaman and fans.
Would you like to talk about feet instead?
I don't actually, honestly, in my notes, I don't have anything about feet. So,
Wow.
So a lot of these cold case murders get solved by.
um, so then after that, the Baron like comes to the comes to the house for the first time, and I think finally he learned his name. It's Friedrich.
That's his last name.
No, you're just adding stuff here. I swear. No, his name
It's
is
Baron von Frederick or Fred something.
No, that's his first name now. Don't lie to me.
Well, the surname is Von. Like that's the actual.
Nope, it's Friedrich. I've decided.
Maybe he's got 2 first names.
That's fine. It's whatever. But has a dream from Faith Hill.
Uh-huh.
Goes to the woods and kills goblins.
Uh-huh.
Finds some people in cages. A woman in her 30s, kind of attractive, and a kid. He saves them, takes them back to the Paladin place, and there's no charcuterie board.
That's fucking rude, too.
Yeah, I just love the flair that just like only Caleb would just be like, let's talk about a charcuterie board. Like this whole thing about fighting goblin, and you probably told him like what he did to fill in so he could level up, and so he's just reading off of it, and then he's just like, yeah, then we rescued him, took him back, no charcuterie, like completely like taking back.
I mean,
that,
when
like,
you're done defeating goblins, you always going to want a snack.
I mean, you need to rehydrate
With charcuterie.
liquid meats.
I think I gave him like a page and a half of what he did in the interim. Yeah. And that's when I got back. So.
And then you go on like a tour of the house, and then it becomes like a
With the dead body white chalk outlines.
yeah. And
Yeah.
what
Well,
he said is-
we covered up that hole in the basement with dead bodies.
oh yeah, he was like, yeah, this must be a foreclosure or something like that, or you got it at auction. Which once again, another great Caleb moment. Just some of the just random shit he would say, and then my note is, the gang talks about becoming drug dealers? ? Maybe later.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. I think I even mentioned, like, I give them a little piece and they make it big, becoming drug lords.
That's us.
Yeah.
We still have those drugs. Well, not really.
I think it's in the bag of holding, right?
Only one way to find out.
No.
Tune in to when we finally play and recall it from the bag of holding, because we're gonna need it.
Or did you leave it in the room?
I think I left it in the room. I hid it better than putting it under the blanket and saying this is not drugs. So
Who would do something like that?
Yeah, because M. Scott didn't have the drugs on him, did he?
nope. No, he left him at our place, and then we got back from the Dwarven City eventually.
I don't think you ever made it back to the house after the Dwarven City.
We did for a second, because
No, I don't think you did.
maybe we didn't.
Because,
So the drugs burned in the fire.
well, will be the topic of, like, next week. It's discovering all these things. Because you go to Maple Mire, you have a dead M. Scott with you.
It is true.
Spoilers. If you haven't listened, rewind 2 minutes, hit yourself in the head, and don't listen to this episode yet.
I
Go
don't-
back and listen to the
Well,
series.
There was that time that you guys were on the road and you found the guy with the big giant bag.
Oh, Sack.
The big sack.
Zach.
How dare you not call it by its right name? And didn't he swindle you guys? Isn't that what happened?
No, he ratted us out.
That's right. He was a dirty rat.
But I think
He's
that
a dirty sack rat.
Oh man.
I think that was
Sack rat.
before Maple Mire, though. Because
Oh,
you,
M. Scott was with us after he had ratted us out because we were leaving to go to.
somewhere,
Was it Maple Mire?
maybe.
I think we were going to Maple Mire to figure out what's going on with the northern dwarves because the council hadn't heard from anybody. So we went up there, but we passed the dude with the big sack. We're just jumping way ahead.
It's fine.
Yeah. But then when we were
I mean,
at
if
Maple
any-
Mire,
If anyone's out there listening, hopefully they've listened to this series. Otherwise, they're gonna be like,
Right.
"Why am I listening to a recap of something I have no idea what's going on?"
what was the dwarven city? Moore? Yeah.
Moore.
So then we left. We were getting ready to leave Maple Mire to go to Moore, and then that's when we got attacked by a small contingent of one paladin with some hired guns that we killed
And dumped in the
and
lake.
dumped. But we found out that it was. I don't even know if we actually officially found that out, or if we just pretended that's what it was. But the dude with the big sack gave us up like a dick.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, long story short, the drugs still may be at
I think they
Well,
are.
worst case scenario, like if like it didn't survive, at least the people like in the town as it may have been burning, like got high and they were able to like fight through the pain for a second.
What was it? Your dexterity would go up, but was it your intelligence or your wisdom that dropped? I think it was.
I think it was the wisdom because it was like your perception would go down.
Yup. So yeah, that would make sense. So I don't know. Maybe they fended themselves off. Maybe they defeated the dragons.
Oh,
You don't know. Maybe maybe the dragon's sorting it. You don't know.
oh, dragon! They just call it Bane.
Say hello to my little friend.
The dragon's gonna have like a plus 30 in dexterity.
Son of a bitch.
Impossible to beat.
So
Well, then you just like feeble mind it and then done because there's no way if it's done all that it's gonna save from feeble mind when it's got like negative 30 wisdom score.
It's true.
it's true. Yeah.
Genius. That's what we need to do. We need to find Dragon's Bane and then just fucking get these dragons high and just send Babylon to just punch it a few times.
I mean, if the Baron had his way, he'd just be giving out to women and children.
Going back to session 3, yes.
yeah, we did it. We're back. Well, so it says the gang talked about becoming drug dealers later. And so then they're like, what are we going to do? You mentioned that there's a note from DeLuna to go to check out the unicorn horn.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I feel like you guys go check out the unicorn horn, but I really don't think, like, anything comes of it.
Didn't we steal their gold?
No, you go
Or
there.
was it later?
You go there and you show DeLuna's card to
That's
the
right.
shopkeep, and she's like, "Oh, I have a bunch of potions, and you guys didn't buy any of them."
And I think
Well, we were kind of broke.
the voice was the guidance counselor from South Park.
A little bit, yeah.
Good. Caleb once again asked if they were hot, and you said yes.
All
Actually, I think you
shopkeepers
said-
are hot.
I think you said sure. I think that's normally when you concede. You're just like sure.
I think they rolled a perception check.
No, either way, you said they were hot.
Yep.
So they had really expensive potions.
Mhm.
And then Ryan asked about Supreme potions, if he gets sour cream on it.
Yep.
And, devolved into madness.
This whole episode.
That's what we do.
And then it doesn't, because while you're having the conversation, then M. Scott's like, hey, do you have any adult toys? And Ryan just like, Babylon stares daggers and is like, what's going on? And they're like, no, I don't have them. Check out the other shop.
Sean's Emporium.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trinket Emporium.
That's where we got the dick for the duck.
And so, I think they go and they, here's my note. Baron asks if shopkeep is hot. Tim says yes. Oh, I completely forgot the most important part. When you guys were on the way to the unicorn horn, Babylon just flips off the bar just because, trying to show disrespect to Mav.
Yep.
Once again, it's showing,
Showing
You
it
don't
up to the
respect
man.
no authority.
yeah. So, shopkeep's hot. M. Scott asks for adult toys, And then the Baron / Caleb asks for antacids because he's about to shit himself.
I remember that too.
The audience wants to know, did he shit himself?
No,
Was it close?
I don't think
Could you hear his farts from the table?
No.
That's
Always.
I think we gave him Tums, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just love it because he's like trying to have a conversation, and he's like, and then the Baron asks for antacids. He's like, if I start sweating, it's not a bit.
God damn it, Caleb. Yep, I remember that.
And I was just like, where's this going? And then he's like, no, in real life, it was just like, oh, good God.
I think we went on break then.
Yep.
Did he mention how his poop was?
I don't know if he pooped or not.
He was better when he got back, so
How do you go? I mean, maybe you just had to let some. You know, when sometimes you like think you got to poop, and then you
you
just
just
go
let
and
out a big fart.
let out some farts, and you're just like, all right, I'm cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good times.
Have you ever sneezed and farted? That's the worst.
A snart
Mm-hmm.
or a fees.
You just feel violated. Like all the air is just escaping you.
I don't know if I feel violated.
I do.
Do you like, how dare you look in the mirror and you're like, how dare you?
How dare you?
If you ever pull that shit again,
And then I do it again.
I think that's one of those ones where you have that moment you're like, well, did I shit myself? And it's just like, well, I don't know. Can't trust a fart ever again. Especially once you're over 30, you can't trust a fart anymore.
True. So after that, they go to Sean's Emporium, right?
yep.
Yeah. And they buy
That was the most aggressive putting your phone down ever there, Nick.
a giant phallic wooden device.
Yeah, but it was like going over like different like types of them. You're like, oh, well, this one has this. This one's got like, oh, a
Ripped
little,
for your pleasure.
this one's wearing a little turtleneck. And I think there was a dragon one that actually breathed fire.
Oh, God. What have I done to my campaign?
You did this.
I did this. This is all canon.
Yeah.
All because of Roger.
But then, like, Caleb's like, is it double-ended so they can pleasure each other? Like, what the fuck?
All because of Roger, and they went to his house, and Improv Chaos Me decided to have a dildo. Well, no, he used a shop to...
Now there's all dildos everywhere.
Well, there's only one.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah.
But then there's this, like, super weird scene where you guys go to the tapping duck,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys are just standing down at the bottom of it. And Curtis is like, I'm going to just minor illusion and the dick on the duck, but, like, a vision of it down below. And then Ryan's like, yeah, well, I'm going to hold the dick slightly to the side of it and be like, oh, my God, it's a double dick on the dick duck.
Double dick duck.
Yeah, just, like, absolute insanity. And then, like, I think the guards show up, and it's a whole thing. And
I got away.
I think because they tried to do it, like, in the middle of the day.
Yeah, in the middle of the day, Babylon's out there. So then the guard comes up to the the roof, and Babylon like rolls like a crazy athletic or acrobatics, does a backflip over the guard and slaps the guard in the face with the dick. I'm just like, what is going on? At that point, you just know that Tim had given up, and he's like, fuck it, whatever. But it's just like, oh man, I just feel like in every campaign, there's either got to be like a troll dick in your bag of holding, or some sort of phallic thing that just keeps coming back up.
Well, we had a dick key too. Well, we still have it.
Yeah,
You have the dick
true.
key that gives you the tent.
Yep. Dick
and-
key pitching a tent, man.
It's almost like that was well thought out.
And then there was a part during that whole exchange when Curtis's character talks to the like town's guard, and everyone's like, Curtis's character is always a narc. And Ryan's like so mad. He's like, everything I play, Curtis, always a narc. Which like goes back to the campaign that we were playing, and he was playing like a spy who was basically like a narc, and he was like texting me off like
Oh, yeah,
outside
yeah,
of
yeah.
it, like telling me things about his spy stuff that he was doing. I'm like,
Yup.
I mean, you know, the track record, he kind of is a narc, but it's great. I love it.
He tried to blame me for narking.
Well, I mean, Sneeze is dumb.
The dumbest smart person, dumbest smart robot you've ever met.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because you've narked on them accidentally
Only once.
a couple times.
Only
Are you
twice.
talking about the part where like they don't know that and says that M. Scott's magic too?
There's that one, and you did something to Artemis. You said something to him.
No, that was Defina.
Was it Defina?
Yep. We were in the middle of the guard's tower, and Defina has an outburst, and we're like, no one else is supposed to know that.
Yeah. So the huge giant phallic dick thing, they get away from the guards.
Yeah, they get away from the guards,
Then we went back.
and I think they go back to the house, and they start like deciding what they're gonna do with their life.
With our house.
Well, no, with the drugs.
Well, that too.
And then you guys accuse M. Scott of being addicted to drugs. And then it's like a whole thing of like, no, I just did a little. And like, no, you're addicted to drugs. And
And then I think Babylon rolls a shitty roll and just accepts it.
Yep.
and then so there's a part where they split the party. And they decide that M. Scott and the Baron are going to go sell or distribute drugs. And so the M. Scott has like a crazy high intelligence roll or perception check or whatever investigation on like how to evenly distribute the drugs to
Yep.
sell it for the best amount. And I don't know why you guys decided talking about it, but you're like, are you guys in your underwear? So the Baron and M. Scott stripped
That's
down.
what you do for drugs. So that
and
you don't know
defy
one's hiding
drugs.
money.
But then Tim's like, yeah, but you know, like the Baron's wearing plate armor, so he takes like 30 minutes to completely like take off his armor. And I can't remember what M. Scott says he's wearing, but
Wasn't he wearing like some sort of...
I think just leather armor.
But
Well-
he was wearing some ornate underwear or something?
that's right. It was like had monkeys on it or something. And Caleb's the Baron had a mankini on because he's like, I like the breeze, and he's like, I'm super jacked.
I think the reference was Breaking Bad, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's like all those movies where they're like, you know, trafficking drugs or sorting money or whatever. They're always
And
pretty much
then-
naked.
Yep. Oh my god. What were Babylon and Snee doing?
I think we were going to get supplies for the house.
No,
Okay.
you guys were going to put the dick on the duck.
Oh, that's right. We went back to go put the dick on the duck.
Yeah,
Oh, because you're
Because we were the two stealthier ones.
yeah.
because of the dexterity. While Baron and Curtis. Drugs.
The Baron and Curtis.
Yeah.
It
and
was.
Scott.
It wasn't M. Scott. It was Curtis all along. What if Curtis is actually M. Scott and M. Scott is Curtis?
Well, M. Scott's dead, so
So that means Curtis has taken over M. Scott's body.
maybe.
Oh no.
Shit.
Yeah, just chaos. They successfully put the dick on the duck.
Yep.
I don't remember anything like happening there.
No,
I just rolled good. Oh yeah.
I went up and I had a really good stealth roll all the
Yeah.
way up there.
So it's a really good stealth roll, and then so Baby thinks that that Snee died and turned into a ghost,
Yep.
and then Snee sneaks up behind and was like, "Oh my God, are you a ghost?" And like Baby just thinks that Snee is now dead, and so then they go up, put the dick on the duck, and like you're gone because you like jump off the roof, but because of your stealth mode, you make no sound even with bad rolls. Baby didn't hear you, so Baby has this whole like internal monologue. Like, oh my God, how am I gonna tell them that I lost him?
Yep.
I lost our magic dog.
And then the Baron and M. Scott sell drugs or try to.
Yeah. Well, there's a part where they go to the library and
I
meet
don't remember that.
Gilbert.
Gilbert? Is
Yep.
it Gilbert? Okay.
And they are searching stuff on Raldol, the relative of the current emperor, and
Based on my dream.
who's the first emperor. Raldol is the first emperor back 250 years ago when the timeline starts. And then they start talking a little bit about the council and Orion, but I don't think it really goes into any detail on that.
Pretty much all the info we were able to get is
Just that he was a descendant of
pretty much
Roald
the
Dahl.
same information that's kind of public knowledge at this point. All the secret stuff's stashed away.
Yeah, because the Baron had information on all the council members.
Yeah, I put Baron puts on all armor again, going to sell drugs out in the world, and then they go to the unicorn horn again.
Mm-hmm.
And like you go in and like no, we don't want to go in. We want to go the alleyway. And then so then they start going to like shitty like other bars. There's the Manic Donkey, and then there's the Manic. What's the Manic Goat? I think Manic Goat is the other one.
Sounds about right.
I think I described it as like Applebee's. Like the kind of pub and grill bar that isn't really a bar and is sad if you're there.
But it says bar and grill.
It's not really a bar,
Yeah.
and it's a makeshift grill.
Even though like Applebee's, like they have that giant bar.
You know, you talk like that, you're gonna lose 1/3 of your listeners.
You're an Applebee's fan?
No,
Yeah, I
really.
didn't
My
think
wife
so.
is though,
Ugh.
but she won't listen to this.
Gross.
That was actually where our first date was Applebee's.
Gross.
There's a whole story behind it.
Tell her for this episode we gave a glowing recommendation for Applebee's, and wait till to get the point when we shit on it.
Yes. I'm going to tell her to listen to the episode where we nonstop talk about semen.
And feet.
Oh, we didn't really talk about feet this much.
So these cold case files.
I almost was about to talk about the thing we talked about before the episode, but then I was like, wait a second, no, that wouldn't make any sense. Now everyone's like, oh, what were they talking about? Tune in next time to find out.
Or don't.
Or
I,
don't.
I could put it in the after the credits too.
No. It's a very personal thing that Nick and I have. It's been ongoing for years, and about how I'll be his dad one day.
Yep.
Oh, that one. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about feet, but okay.
No, I'll talk about feet anytime. I just don't have anything to talk about feet.
Oh God. I was gonna say something and I totally forgot.
It always happens when I start getting on my feet tangents.
What was happening?
Drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
anyway.
think that's kind of how it ends. I mean, I feel like the episode, not a lot happens,
No.
and it's just very long and drawn out. It's fun. It's absolutely hilarious, the crazy stuff that happens, because it's just like nonsensical, and just like very vividly talking about them being in their underwear and pop culture references and
Always.
being being addicted to drugs.
Well, and I remember specifically afterwards, because me and Tim always talk after everyone leaves, and he's like, I really didn't have anything planned. This was just a level up and then just have just fun, whatever, which I think makes us more on task when we get into like real shit, like murders and overlords and dicks on ducks.
Dicks on ducks.
I think I did have some encounters that you could have ran into, but just didn't, because that whole episode just went sideways. Because obviously putting a dick on a duck and then selling drugs to kids,
I'm just saying though.
Attempting.
attempting to sell.
No sales were made, so that's just an intent to distribute, not an actual.
Because
Yeah, I think he like tries to do a bad role, and the guy's like, "No, I don't want it." Like one of the first,
Because you sent a paladin to go sell drugs.
that's the perfect thing to do.
he,
It's a cover.
I think I made them roll perception checks and like charisma checks to see if they could actually sell it. The
Right.
perception was to like find a target, and he just kept rolling really badly.
Yeah,
And I don't think M. Scott tried to sell any.
Nope.
M. Scott's is the brains behind the operation.
Pretty much.
Oh gosh, yeah. I think he just sent the Baron out.
The
This
Baron
wasn't-
was the patsy if they got caught.
100%. Because like, oh, no one likes them anyway. Goodbye.
Also a great selling strategy. Hey, send the people that no one likes to sell things.
Well, I mean, I don't think like I think like. Well, I say like I feel like the like movie drug dealer typically isn't someone who's like super nice and super friendly. Some movies, yeah, it's like comedies. I think for the most part, they seem like kind of shady people. So it would make sense.
Shady, but they're not hated.
I mean, I bet some people hate drug dealers.
I mean,
Little kids don't know better.
But
Hate is taught.
But are they?
everyone's taught to hate the paladins.
Oh, fair enough. You're gonna learn your ABCs and hate your paladins today. If you see something, say something.
One of my weird things that I did in this campaign: make the lawful good characters hated.
Yup. I love it.
I mean, everyone's a hero in their own story. Am I right?
Right?
We need a hero.
Well, you have the paladins and the wizards that
Holding up for a hero to the end of the night.
are bad guys. And it's not even really that they're bad guys. They just have some extreme viewpoints.
Well, if you've ever seen the YouTube video about Danny from the Karate Kid being the being the real bad guy, have you seen that, Nick?
Yep.
I love that's one of my favorite things, and it's like local child batter, Mr. Miyagi.
Well, that made its way onto How I Met Your Mother, because Barney always thought that Danny was the good guy.
No, the other way around. He thought Johnny was the good
Johnny
guy.
was the good guy, yeah.
Yeah, and then they get the guy who plays Danny to show up, and he's like, no, that's not who. And then they end up getting the guy who plays Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, and I feel like kind of like they're both kind of the good guys in a way.
Well, I think they even
Welcome to our Cobra Kai fan cast.
in that first episode they mentioned like that whole debate because Danny does an illegal
kick, yeah.
to
I
the
mean,
face.
which is funny. It's funny because I wonder if like the people that saw that video, like if they saw that video on YouTube where they're like, "Oh, Danny's actually the bad guy," they're like, you know what? Let's write a screenplay for this.
Maybe.
And then came Cobra Kai.
I think I've watched the first 2 seasons, maybe 3. I don't know how many there are.
I know
I've missed
half
some
an
of them.
episode.
It's so good.
I think there's 6 seasons.
Holy cow! I'm way behind.
Yeah.
I like it better that way because I can just binge watch shit.
Well, speaking of binge watching shit, I watched all of Fallout.
Is it
How
all
is it?
out already?
Yeah.
I thought they were just like releasing an episode like last week.
Nope. They released all 8.
They're like, hey, we're gonna release the first episode and then all subsequent 7 at the same time. How was it?
I liked it.
See,
I
I'm
haven't
not.
started it yet.
I'm not really a bit like the lore behind it is cool, but like the games itself, I never really got into.
Do they
How
pickpocket any mines into other people's pockets?
No, they don't.
Dang it.
No, they don't.
That's
I've
disappointing.
been binge watching Suits.
That's a good show.
Well, they're doing a reboot.
Are they?
Yeah, based in Los Angeles. And I don't know if they're bringing Meghan Markle back for it, which I really hope they do because that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, she's not royalty anymore.
Yeah, it's a whole weird thing. Like not royalty duties or whatever. I said duty. But Steve Amell of the CW's The Arrow is in the new series for Suits.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was doing that wrestling show that got canceled.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that no one really liked him for a bit because he was like all anti-union for the whole SAG
I thought
Afro
you were going to
thing.
say Jewish.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would bring that up. Like, you shouldn't be anti any sort of people, like race or religion, but like I don't necessarily know if I would bring that up in this particular podcast.
Which one? Against the SAG?
Well, that I would, but I'm talking about hating Jewish people or hating people in general. I just don't know if this is the right platform for it.
I mean, I don't hate any people. Do you hate any people?
No, I don't, but I just don't know if this is topical to us going back and talking about semen and selling fake drugs to children and not doing it, and then to talk about something as heavy as that is what I'm getting at.
This campaign, man.
Yeah.
So part of this episode, session 3, is a DM giving agency to the players and letting them kind of dictate the story and not railroading anything and going with the flow and improving as best I can to try to rein in the chaos.
I just love how much you just gassed yourself up right there. You're like, yeah, this is, a perfect example of a DM really stepping out of his comfort zone and proving how good he is.
Well, this is also kind
That
of the
was
transition.
me. Yeah, she.
This was the transition between, like, pretty much the end of what the dragon heist or whatever that Tim kind of started this off of into Tim's actual what he was going to do.
Yeah, when he's like, well, I don't want them to.
There's got to be drugs and dicks.
Yeah, they're like, they want.
And
They
those
want
dicks, those dicks must be attached to ducks.
They want to fix up this house. We're gonna let them sell drugs to kids, or try to.
Or try to.
Speaking of which, I want a refund on that money that we gave Mav for renovations because obviously they just demolished the whole thing.
You don't know. You don't know. You haven't been back.
We go back, the only building standing is our old house, and it's done.
Yeah, like
The workers have been working secretly at night.
Mav's like, I hold up my end of the bargain.
You don't know. I think the last time you heard the Night Roses were trying to get out and using your house as
The escape path.
escape path. So, and you haven't heard from Mav in a while, I don't think. No, he's on the boat. That's right.
Yep.
He's on the boat.
Wow, we're skipping ahead again, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I hope none of the Night Roses fell for any of my booby traps I had in that hallway.
Tim, I need you to roll some decks. I need to roll some saving throws right now.
I think that was a thing that we talked about when you guys were escaping, if I'm not.
I believe it was.
I believe in a thing called love.
So well, I'm just a proponent of giving the players or PCs as much agency as possible.
I already have 3 of. Oh, you want some dice?
Yeah.
Oh, I was-
Giving them as much agency as they please. And I feel like other DMs, Railroad, or it's very heavy and serious and blah, 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 blah.
All right, how many night roses would you say are in there? I want to roll for saving throws.
I'm rolling for traps.
Okay. How many would you say there are?
In that chapter, probably a good, 25.
25. I'm going to roll 3 saving throws for 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
Okay, there we go.
That's a 5.
I got an 11.
So a 5 with maybe a +1 or 2, maybe a 3, but still
Give a
below
plus-
10, they're getting hit by that trap.
Yep.
A 13
I got an 8 on that one.
and a 19. So I think one third
I
of
got a
them.
3.
I think 1/3 of them got
Only
hit with
1/3
traps.
of them died.
Well, you got to roll damage. What kind of traps were they?
Deadly.
I
Oh.
mean, you were really low level when you did that.
So would
I
you
rolled an
say
11 without a modifier?
4d6? All right, 4d6.
I mean,
I
I
got
would-
11 damage.
you would have to roll for.
Weird. I got 11 damage over here. That tracks.
I would make you roll trap making with your dexterity modifier at level 3
All right, do it.
or whenever that was.
See, Tim, you wanted to play D&D, and we're playing D&D right now.
So that would have been probably a +2 depending on your dex.
If I'm not mistaken,
Have you modified your dex since you've leveled up?
so I got +4
Okay.
is what I would have had because I was at a 19.
So
and then I
did-
got the book,
The book.
which gave me +2.
Yep. So D20 +4 for trap making.
So yeah,
Trap maker, make me a trap. No, okay.
what was your second roll? Do you remember?
My second roll was a 13.
Ooh, I had a 13.
Yeah, but I think I would have had probably some sort of modifier. I don't think it would be necessarily would be I mean, there would be a DC to it, I would think, for a trap.
There'd be a DC
Be like a dexterity saving
based
throw.
off of his roll.
But those guys aren't checking for traps.
I mean, they're all rogues. They would be rogues and rangers.
Were they going slow, fast, or
Well,
normal
the
pace?
third that got capped were definitely the Rangers.
Again, it's a moot point because I think you guys were the first ones out, so you would have gotten all the traps.
I'm pretty sure I actually, in that point, when we were going through, I disarmed the traps that we were going through. So that the rest of the party didn't fall into the traps, because we know how that would have gone.
I rolled a natural one there, so I don't know what that was for.
That's
but-
Rusty. Rusty's
Oh, rip.
No, he's already been in other stuff since then.
Defina's going to be so upset. Not.
dead. I don't remember where Rusty is at this point.
Bearbor?
Maybe.
I believe we sent him ahead to spy out on stuff.
You guys are there.
But we sent him ahead to try and go find stuff, and then we had just gotten in the city when we left off. So he should be in the city, if I remember correctly.
I would have to look at my notes. I don't remember.
You would have to look at his notes.
I have to look at my notes.
And we're not there yet.
Tim is not looking at his notes.
I'm not, because I didn't have any notes in session.
I'm going to roll for notes.
He's rolling for notes. Oh, I got to get out.
What modifier do I get for notes?
1,000,000.
3.
Oh, I rolled 1,011. My notes are perfect.
Well, I pulled out the same D20 again. I'm rolling for Tim looking at his notes. 14.
Wow.
What's
I got
his
a
modifier?
1,014.
My modifier?
No, his
my
modifier.
I don't know. What's your modifier?
I don't know. Plus 14. Ooh, natural 20, baby.
What?
Ugh.
This has gone off the rails.
Just like session 3 went off the rails completely.
Going off the rails on a crazy train.
I do believe they nailed the dick to the duck.
Yes, we did.
Also, you looked away to try to cough, and we heard all of that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, you nailed it with like 40 something nails.
100%.
Yeah.
Remember that one time I tried to fuck up some boat rudders?
No,
Way far ahead.
I don't remember that at all.
And I failed.
I don't.
I failed on one of them.
Shame on you.
I know.
Is this when you were making the boat?
No, this was when we were trying to sabotage the boats, and Mav got one.
Oh yeah, and Mav became a
He
boat
loved his
guy.
boat
boat.
captain.
Yeah, he really loves his boat.
When you get the hell of his house and it's all nautical themed.
Yeah, mine just thinks that, like, I just think that, like, he's just like cruising around in the boat, like jamming out to like GTA 5 like playlist.
You know?
Not pirate shanties, just GTA 5.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like just those like hair rock vibes, just like hair flat.
What would one of the
horns
commercials
flapping in
be?
the- What?
What would one of the commercials be about?
Oh, probably about like going down to the whatever the Cluckin' Chicken thing place. Whatever it is. It's like Cluckin' Chicken, something like that. I don't know.
I think so.
I haven't played Grand Theft Auto game in 10 plus years, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
I played them all.
How long? When most recent?
GTA 5 whenever that came out.
Yeah, I'm saying when did you play it most recently?
I want to say the last couple of years.
Well, not me.
Like 2019, 2020 maybe.
Classic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Welcome to our GTA fan cast.
And then Red Dead 2. I played a lot of that.
Played a lot of Skyrim too.
Man, I played so much Skyrim. I am the Thane of motherfucking Whiterun.
But you didn't play Fallout. That's disappointing.
It just wasn't my jam.
It's like the same game with guns.
I didn't really play Fallout either.
How dare both of you?
Man, I don't feel like I play a lot of games with guns.
How dare all of you?
Like, when I play Skyrim, I'm like leveling my character up and going after dragons with just 2 daggers. Like jumping out of a tower, like, surprise, motherfucker!
I liked it in Oblivion before they had the patch update that came out, so you could level all your stats in the cave,
Yeah.
and then you'd come out and everything's like level 1, and you're like, fucking max everything.
Stab dead. Okay.
I just like Oblivion where you can jump over houses and buildings.
Also true. Jump across water.
Mm-hmm.
The mechanics in the game were bad enough to where you could jump, and then if your jump was high enough, you would just float all the way up to the top of the steps.
Yeah. I still think my favorite thing has to be the Macho Man Randy Savage mod for Skyrim.
The Thomas the Tank Engine one is good too.
That's what old job that I had. That was my desk. Is I had a little Thomas the Train tank engine and then a little Nord Funko Pop, and my background was that scene. And I actually won a desk decorating contest for it. I'm just like, hell yeah. Like it was like in our company newsletter. I'm just like, so many people don't understand. Like this guy likes trains and dragons.
I'll just put that on my desk.
That'd be cool. Currently on my desk, I have a little Wally figurine that holds, like, you hold the flap down and it I turned it into a wireless charger. So then you set it down and it's like holding your phone.
I have a
What do you have on your desk, Tim?
I'm at my desk once a week, so I don't have anything.
Huh.
I have a little Lego Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah. So we have this thing where we give out, like, cheers.
Mhm.
And when you get a cheer, you get a Lego. So I have, like, this wizard tower that I made out of Lego. And at the very top of it, I have a wizard. And he's on a stripper pole. And I took little black triangle pieces and made those high heels for him. He has a good time. People always are like, do you have a stripper wizard on your desk? And I'm like, I do.
A Stwizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at my desk once a week, and I have a giant monitor now that I
Ooh.
don't like.
Is it giant, like as in like wide, or is it like more like TV like where it's taller
It's like
and wider?
a 32-inch curved monitor.
Yeah, but is it like a thin curved monitor, so it's almost like you have two monitors, or is it like you're staring at a TV?
It's thin. It's a new, I think, an OLED.
And you hate it?
I do. I don't like it.
I have 2 huge curved 32 monitors upstairs.
I know you do.
I don't know. Curved monitors aren't really anything special to me.
I don't like it because everyone can see what I'm doing.
Oh shit, can't get on porn.
Yeah, at my government work.
That should be welcome.
Exactly.
You're doing research. The bad guys use porn, so therefore you are researching popular
Ant-Man's
porn.
playing Gallica. Didn't think we'd notice.
Yeah, you just hop on the VPN for a different country, and you're like, well, the liked porn is this. That's what the bad guys are watching. Get them.
I do know those federal agents that do that kind of stuff burn out really quickly. Yeah.
And
Probably-
by him knowing means he is a secret agent.
So back to Cold Case Files.
I mean, I don't think we have any more to talk about this episode because we spent the last 10, 15 minutes talking about, well, traps
Everything else.
and everything else and Fallout and not playing it and Oblivion and Skyrim and Cold Case Files again.
It's par for the course for session 3 of being complete chaos. So much so that I don't remember session 4. I don't remember what it's titled at all. I don't remember what happened next.
Session 4 is titled Episode 3.
I'm going to start naming the episodes, the previous episode's number.
Well, you do that. Find out what happens.
Session 4 is House Reno and Blood in the Streets. That's when we get ambushed when we go out.
Spoilers, man. We need that content.
It's called what?
House Reno and Blood in the Streets.
House Reno, like renovation.
Got it.
No,
not like
it's-
Reno,
It's
Nevada.
Reno, Nevada. We're in Reno.
They haven't gotten there yet. That's later on.
Oh, yeah, you did start working on the house, and then I think the gang attacks you, and that's when M. Scott murders someone with magic
Yes.
in the streets.
And we hide the bodies in some barrels, which gets found. That's also when we try to break into the prison after we just killed people in the streets. And that's when Defina fucking narcs on the whole group.
Why were you guys? Oh, because the lame man
Was healed
was
because
healed,
M. Scott gave him some money.
and you guys wanted to find out where he was, and he ended up being arrested because he was doing like weird stuff.
Weird magic-y things. Mm-hmm. And then he gets disappeared.
And then M. Scott has a vision of him going crazy and jumping off a cliff.
Yep.
Spoilers.
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 We'll be talking about all of this and more next week
Next week. Yay.
with the full table,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
If you're listening to this right now, we're calling you out. You better be here. Or you won't be here.
I like how you looked at me and then your eyes just kind of meandered in the corner.
Well, because I was looking at you, and then I was looking at the empty spaces.
The
But it went
empty
up, too.
chairs.
Oh, yeah.
The empty chairs. Hopefully we'll be
A
filled.
moment of silence for our empty chairs. As we go on, we remember.
What's that Sarah McLaughlin song?
In the arms of an angel. For 60 cents a day, you can fund a D&D campaign.
Yeah.
That's our Patreon. Just with that song.
But it's me.
Yep. Arms of an Angel. What is she doing?
What, no, instead it'll be Babylon will be with the arms of an astral fly away.
What is she up to? Does
I
anyone
think
know?
she's probably still
No
doing those
idea.
commercials.
I don't watch TV anymore, so.
Oh, wow.
I don't watch commercials.
Well, join us next week when we talk about Sarah McLaughlin and what she's up to.
commercials.
And what she's up to.
Yep. The Sarah McLaughlin Save the Animals podcast.
Well, it was the children.
I'm pretty
Wasn't
sure
it?
we talk about that sometime in the campaign too.
Do
Probably.
it? Is it animals or children? Or is it
Both.
both?
Maybe it's children animals or animal children.
Like kittens?
Yes, like kittens. You just said that so innocently. Okay,
Bark.
bye.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Bye.